Hello, my name is Janet Sewell, and I'm with the Department of Curriculum and Instruction. I'm happy to share today's quick tip video on engagement strategies. Today we're going to be talking about how you can engage your students in whole group language arts using the Wonders curriculum and several online apps. Engagement tools that you might be familiar with are the chat feature in Google Meets, Jamboard, Google Classroom, the quiz game Kahoot, and of course, YouTube videos. Let's take a look at the curriculum connection. For example, in Wonders, if I'm teaching the genre historical fiction, I would engage my students by making sure they are reading along with me as they have their book open. I can point to the words and motto fluency, and then check for understanding by perhaps having one student unmute and follow along. In order to check for understanding, I can have a chat reflection by asking a question and having the students respond in the chat. In this case, I might ask them to look at this illustration and tell me how they know it is an historical fiction piece. In order that all students are participating, I will use a strategy called Chat Waterfall, whereby all students type their answers in, but they don't hit enter until I play a song. Another way to engage your students on this idea of historical fiction is to provide them with a Jamboard. In this case, the Jamboard is asking for example and non-example of historical fiction. The idea is that students would drag the examples into the correct spot, for example, Pocahontas and Mulan. And Brother Bear and the Little Mermaid would be non-example. Using connective ideologies that students might want, using the ideas that students are familiar with, for example, in the Disney movies, this might increase the engagement. Another way to check for understanding is to use the PDFs that are part of the Wonders curriculum as a Google Classroom assignment. In this case, I would allow the students, during the live interaction, to go out to the Google Classroom in a second tab and answer these questions. Another tool that you might use, particularly for formative assessment, in a more engaging manner than just assigning this as an independent activity, is to take these questions and put them into a Kahoot game. So in this case, you'll see that number 1, land was as white as a ghost after a lesson on similes. Land was as white as a ghost is one of the questions in the Kahoot formative assessment. The engaging picture, as well as the opportunity to compete with their peers, is highly engaging. Another tool that you can use to increase engagement is to have connected videos so that students can consume the information in different ways. We have varied learners, and we need to make sure that we provide them with different ways to access. This particular video is explaining the spelling rule of adding IES to Y words. And then, of course, you have low-tech engagement to check for understanding. In this case, words are written on an index card with a scaffolded underlining in color, and then students would respond on their whiteboards. As you can see, there are many ways to engage your students using the Wonders curriculum via the Google Chat, Jamboard activities, Google Classroom assignments, Kahoot quizzes, and interactive, engaging YouTube videos. I hope you found this engagement tip video useful.